Hey, welcome. Today I am going to be working on several things, but one of the most important things I need to get started are some crocks, fermentation crocks. I have a fermentation festival coming up and it's the best time to sell a crock. So today you'll see me go through the process of weighing out, centering, opening, shaping, creating the lid, and getting everything crock related ready so that it can dry, and then tomorrow I can come out here and trim it. So today will be a video on how to make the crock. I hope you stick around and join me. Thanks. Okay, so here I have my Georgie's Mazama red clay. I love this clay. It's really soft. I like to throw with soft clay. It shapes well, it centers well, it fires beautifully. It's really tight when it fires, so the viscosity, I'm forgetting that word. When the clay is really, it's vitrified. The clay is vitrified really well, so there's not a lot of absorption, which makes it really great for dinnerware and things in the kitchen. So I love this clay, and yeah, I'll be weighing out. I think I'm gonna start with a 3-pound crock and move up from there. Okay, here I have nearly a 3.5-pound piece. As I started cutting it down, I thought maybe 3 pounds would be a little too small, so we're going with 3.5-ish. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna center the 3.5-pound-ish block of clay. I use these small bats because it makes it easier for storing things on my shelves as I get into kind of like a heavy making mode. So if you don't have them, that's okay. They work great. I think it's worth the investment. Please excuse the loud wheel. Wait, how I know she's working. So I'm gonna cone up and cone down a few times, get my clay to be nice and centered here. If you are just learning how to throw, check out my video on coning and centering. I have a little tutorial there on YouTube. Okay, I've got my clay centered. I'm going to open it now using one of my favorite tools. It's a bottom setter, and it's made by Matt's Makery or something. I can't remember, but I absolutely love this tool. And all it really does for me is it allows me to know that I have a thick enough base that I'm going to be able to trim a nice foot onto my piece. It takes away some of my accidental too deep openings, which, over time can happen sometimes. So I like to use this tool because it takes that away. And it's a little tricky on the square bat because the feet are too wide. So I'm just very careful. I open it, and as soon as I touch the bat, I pull it out. I don't use this to pull the piece open. I just use it to start the center well. Push, 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 push until I feel both feet on the ground. And when they're really deep pieces, it's hard to get it out sometimes. Come on, release. my well. I'm ready to pull the base. This is going to be a taller crock, not really a very wide one. So yeah, that's what you're going to see happen next. I pull towards the right corner of my wheel to set that floor. And I'm opening the base so that there's a little bit of a little notch that goes deeper than where the wall comes up. That will help me when I want to turn this into a cylinder. It's getting me all set up for that cylinder shape. I'm pressing the floor. I just started throwing crocks last year when I did the fermentation fest, so I'm still new to it, but the principle is the same as so many other things I throw. The only real big difference is leaving enough clay at the top so that I can create the water channel for sealing the crock. Okay, come in and pull another few times and then start shaping. Stop before I get to the top. I want to leave this section here thicker so that I can create that water lock channel. Work on shaping now. I like the thickness that I've got throughout the piece. I really love simple shapes. If you watch any of my work or follow me anywhere on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see that there's nothing wrong with fancy shapes, but I really like the simplicity of a cylinder. I think there's something beautiful in straight sides. Makes me happy. So that's what I often do, is very simple shapes. Not only am I taking this time right now to shape the crock, but I'm also taking off some of the slip, which will help it dry a little faster, maybe give it more of a chance to succeed in the drying process. The more water I leave on the piece, the longer it takes to dry, and the more likelihood there is of cracking. So I'm removing some of this slip to increase the likelihood of a safe drying session. I'm still being very mindful of this top rim. As I'm shaping, I'm not compressing this at all or thinning this out. I'm leaving it very thick. Pressing that base a few more times, giving it a swirl. I love how the wheel allows us to give our pieces a nice swirl effect. I'm going to create the channel now. So my goal is to press down a section of clay in the center of this channel so that the water, you can pour water in and then set the lid in and it creates a water vacuum, a water lock. So I'm going to flatten this out. A little bit of water. What did I use before? Can't quite remember. Start with just using my finger to create this channel. I want it to be deep enough that I can really get a good amount of water in here. And that it'll also hold the lid. I guess you don't need a good amount of water, but you need water. And room for the lid. So I was holding the rim and inserting my finger down into the rim. And it's giving me a nice channel. Little flange here that I like. I'm gonna look for a tool. I've got this metal trimming tool and I'm just gonna use it to make sure that I have a flat surface. So I've got a 90-degree angle in here for the water lock. Press these rims a little bit. Get the water out of there. Get a little of this clay off down here. And voila! Small crock. It's got a nice space in there. So my next step is going to be to measure that collar or that gallery to see what size of lid I need to make. Okay, I've got my calipers and I'm going to find kind of the center of this channel here. And I know I can leave a thicker lid because I've got quite an opening here. Okay, I'm going to start with that. Lock this down so that it doesn't move. Double check that it didn't shift. And I feel good about that. So onto the lid. Okay, I'm starting with 1 pound for the lid, and I'm basically going to be throwing a bowl using that caliper for the outside measurement or the rim measurement of the bowl, and that's what I will flip upside down, trim, and then add a handle, and then put onto the crock. So you're gonna see the making of a bowl that will eventually be turned into a lid. And it's, like I said, 1 pound. It's probably too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. going to use my bottom setter when I open because I'm going to leave it pretty thick. I'm going to have plenty of clay to trim. And I want this rim to be thicker so that it fits nicely in that channel. Test the calipers. Whew! That's pretty darn good. Look at that. So if you remember, the calipers span to the center of that water channel, and I want the lid to, kind of the center of the lid to hit the center mark. So I feel like I'm there. I'm not gonna fuss with this much more. Double check. I changed the shape a little bit. I feel like I'm good. And I'm gonna leave it. That's pretty unexciting. Tomorrow the process will be more exciting. I can't get my cutter off. There we go. Tomorrow I'll be trimming the crock and the lid and adding the little handle on the little knob onto the lid. And then surface decoration time. Thanks, y'all. See you tomorrow.